Okay, that was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video, and today What is up, guys? Welcome back to the 2019 Modded Career Mode, and as you can see, we've already gotten off to a tragic start in our home Grand Prix. It just wasn't great. Her practice wasn't doing very well, and a wet qualifying, I thought maybe there was a chance that we could actually get up the grid and make some magic happen. But unfortunately, we set a lap, and the next thing you know, we're out the car, and we're already struggling. So that's obviously not great for ourselves, but onwards and upwards onto the British Grand Prix. Little bit of explaining to do before we get into the race. We've got a little bit. So we're going to have to change up this series a little bit. One, for a few reasons. The first one being the fact that F1 2019 is coming out in less than a month. It's about to be here a lot quicker than probably expected to be, at least anyway. But another issue is a few people in the F1 community, including myself, Tom, Ayotono, a lot of people are having issues with the game. Screen freezes have been a thing that have plagued this game all year, and it seems it's just gotten a lot worse. The last update was a while ago, 1.16, and only recently, within like say last month, it's gotten unplayable. It's really, really bad. This is the normal version and with mods, and obviously this is a very heavy modded series. It's just not working very well. It's not performing, and it's impossible to play. It's not enjoyable, and I find myself just screwing at the game and the TV. So a few things are changing after this race. This race was kind of the I'm done, I've had enough, I can't be bothered with this stuff, and you'll see why. So my usual setup for this is, since the French Grand Prix is using my wheel, my Logitech G29, and the problem I have with that is every single time I use it, I have to calibrate it, which means that it's not, with the new game actually being a lot more powerful, it's going to be a lot more difficult and a bit more tedious when it comes to this. So what I've had to do for the series is, moving forward, it's probably going to be about 2 races an episode, because I have to lower them down to 25%, just for the game to be able to hold on to the FPS, as well as to limit the screen freezes. There's no more track sponsors updated. That was, I feel like that was a big one. Through Monaco, I believe, I had to lower the graphics settings down, because that's when I recorded the Monaco, which was quite a while ago. That's when the game really started to struggle, and stuff like that. So, and another issue, like I'll touch on the calibration. If you just look at the steering wheel, when I've been going through these corners, and just look, I have to be on full lock to do this, and it's just frustrating. I can't drive this race like that. I'd have to end up leaving the game. So, I might as well retire from the session with the steering issue, which is annoying to say the least. But we'll add it to the things, because, I'm not going to take the mickey with any of this. But it's just been an absolute nightmare. So, yeah, moving forward, it'll be 25% to 25% per video. That way, we kill 2 birds with 1 stone. The game works. We get some good actual racing and no issues. And also it's a little bit quicker in the run up to F1 2019. When this finishes, I'm going to just do a little bits and bobs here and there until that game comes out. I'm going to try and do what I can to actually make it so I can actually play the game when it does come out. But we're going to have to look at the tables now, and not much has changed in all honesty. If you look at it, we've got Lewis Hamilton still leading the way ahead of the Ferraris, the Red Bulls, and then obviously Bottas just behind. Ourselves not scoring massive amount of points for a while now, and Constructors hasn't really changed that much. Mercedes and Ferrari are still quite close, and Red Bull just in the background. But we're going to move on to the second race, and you can see another thing we've done is switched stop qualifying as well to one shot, just to make it a bit more flowy, a bit easier for me to record as well, without having issues trying to load in the full session. You can see we're actually on the pace really well here in Germany. We've got a few upgrades on the car for downforce, so that's really helping quite a bit in abundance here. You can see we're actually going to get pipped down to 7th. We take too much of a tight line onto the start finish straight, but it looks like P7 for us, and we're going to crack through into that. But that's enough of the reasons behind this is going to have to change. and this, that, and the other. But it's just frustrating as a content creator and obviously like as a player that this is happening. But all we can do is just move forward and look forward to the next game, and hopefully it'll be a great game, and I won't have to do too much. I'm planning on resetting my laptop back to factory, having a fresh start for that game, and hopefully my laptop will perform up to par. It's just over 2 years old, and it should be smashing it. But on pole, we have Lewis Hamilton ahead of Sebastian Vettel. Gasly and Leclerc share row 2. Just behind them, we have Bottas and Verstappen ourselves, P7. Carlos Sainz in 8th. That's very interesting from the Spaniard there. We've got Nico Hulkenberg and Kimi Räikkönen rounding up top 10. Ricciardo, Grosjean, and then Norris. Not doing as good as his teammate, but there again, or thereabouts. Kvyat just ahead of Kubica, who's had a massive qualifying session in his Williams. The Racing Point are actually slower than the Williams. Well, not quite, but we're going to say that anyway, just to make it sound more impressive. But Russell on the back of the grid. I feel that when 2019 does come out, it will not be anything like that. But it's going to be an interesting race. Different dynamic, of course, to what I was normally used to. And in terms of, obviously, with the 25%, we're going to have to cut down all the broadcast shots, the overlays and stuff like that, because for 25%, there's just really no point. But we are waiting for the lights to come on, and they are out just like that, nice and quick. We actually get off to a pretty decent start, all things considered, changing the ERS mode. We've got science to worry about, and we're going to bumper car Verstappen just a little bit. That was quite a weird slide. I think I got touched on the entry. Somehow I managed to arrive into turn 1 sideways, which was quite a feat to behold. But you can see we're just behind, I believe that's Charles Leclerc, whose teammate Sebastian Vettel is leading at the moment. We've got Pierre Gasly, who's having a little bit of a tussle with the Ferrari and the Mercedes. We're going to have a nice inside line into this corner. I'm going to go past 1, 2, 3, and we're just going to completely forget about the corner and have to shoot off. And we managed to just about come ahead of our teammate Kimi Räikkönen, who's somehow got ahead of Verstappen, I believe. So that's interesting. Verstappen looks like he's going to be struggling just a tad, I believe. Anyhow, we're trying to go up the inside of Leclerc, who we couldn't make the move on last time. We struggled to do that. Gasly looks to be a sitting duck with his Honda engine, so we're going to close up to the back of him as best we can. We've got past the Ferrari already, and onto the back of a Red Bull, which is going to be really, really difficult to catch. And we're going to do the exact same thing we did last lap, so if we can keep it on the black stuff, that would be great. Leclerc does get back past us, but we do come out ahead of Kimi once again. So you know what they say, third time's a charm. This time Leclerc's got a much better run on Gasly. Gasly's going to have no chance to defend against either of us. We're going to go up the back of Leclerc, both have DRS into the braking zone, and this time we managed to make the corner and keep it on the black stuff, which is obviously great for us. Managed to get ahead of Leclerc. We're going to expect a little bit of a challenge from Leclerc, but moving a little bit further forward, you can see on lap 5, if I could see that in my preview screen, it'd be great. Gasly is now ahead of Leclerc, so there's a bit of a battle going on, and our teammate Kimi gets held up by us, so we have absolutely just ruined his race. We go for an overcut on the Mercedes of Hamilton, who also joined up with us. Bottas and Vettel stayed out a little bit longer. I was hoping they'd get caught up in traffic and we could close up to them a little bit, which it didn't work out, unfortunately. So Leclerc's still behind us. Kimi Räikkönen's going to be coming out last, bless his little cotton socks. But you can see, we're going for the fastest lap at this point. We're feeling good, tyres are good, so we're just going to set these purple sectors and make sure we get that one extra point. We haven't had a fastest lap all season, and sure enough, we do manage to bag the fastest lap. But just up ahead, throughout this entire last part of the race, Vettel, Hamilton and Bottas were literally swapping positions every single lap between who would win it and not. At this point in the time, Vettel was actually leading the race, and then obviously Hamilton and Bottas were swapping around this, that and the other. But you can see coming towards the end of the lap, we're on the last lap, we've got Leclerc right up our gearbox, we've got no fuel, no ERS, and we're going to be a sitting duck coming into this corner. Our tyres aren't great, we pushed them too hard, and we're going to go a little bit sideways on, it's almost like the carousel in a sense, but you can see we're going to come on, we're going to bang with Leclerc, he's going to go slow, and cheeky little Monegasque actually pips us on within a few quarters to go. So fair play to Leclerc. Bottas actually wins the race, which is good for him, but we just couldn't hold on to it. We pushed the tyres too hard during the stint to get that fastest lap. Ran out of ERS as well as fuel mixture, just trying to see if we could catch up to Bottas, Hamilton and Vettel, and unfortunately we couldn't, which was quite disappointing. But I had good little battle with Leclerc. There he is, little cheeky Monegasque. Is what it is, but I'll tell you what, guys, I actually really enjoyed that race. Normally when I do the races, you know, they're long and they drag, and I just really can't be bothered with them. But I think doing it in this format, I'll enjoy it a lot more, and be very happy, just like Valtteri is there, holding his winner's trophy above his head as they celebrate. But that's been it for me, guys. Obviously, we'll run through the tables, but hopefully you guys won't mind the changes to the format of this and the reduction in overlays. Obviously, we'll have the tables and the intros to the race, but other than that, it's just not really worth it. But looking at the tables, a little bit more of a change than there probably was normally last time. Hamilton still ahead, but Ferrari got a less of a gap. Bottas jumping up and splitting the Red Bulls, which is that. But that's been it for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one for Hungary and I believe Belgium, which is going to be interesting. But that's been it for me. Thank you, guys. Bye bye.